Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. He's Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. He's Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe, Joe, Joe. Adventures with Joe.
Well, hello. Welcome to Adventures with Joe. This is the show where you can go on adventures with me, even if you don't like to go on adventures. I know that times are challenging right now with social distancing and shelter in place, stay at home, stay healthy. We really can't go anywhere. As it turns out, the icicle's closed. The North Cascades are closed. All the public land is closed. So what do? I really want to go climbing. And I want to go climbing, so I've got my gear out, ready to go. And you know where I was going to be going climbing next week was in Idaho with our friends at YD Adventures Idaho in Horseshoe Bend. Today's my birthday as well, and my favorite thing to do is climbing, so we're going to do that a little bit later. But first, let's have a geography lesson. Here we have an Idaho map brought to us by our friends at the Idaho Department of Transportation. Actually, they're the Idaho Transportation Department. And if you need road information, you can dial 511. Anyway, the state of Idaho is where we were hoping to go. As you can see, we have Washington right here, which is like one little strip of Washington. We're way over here in Stanwood, Montana, Oregon, and here's Idaho. Idaho is also known as the Gem State. I have some gems right here, in fact. Gems. I also have some rocks, because we were hoping to climb on those there. And they also have a place called City of Rocks. Idaho is famous for potatoes. This is the russet potato, although it looks ready to plant. And they have cacti as well. Lots of desert in Idaho. So, back to the Idaho map. So we have Idaho. Here's the state of Idaho. We are going to head over and see our friends in Horseshoe Bend. Horseshoe Bend is a little town. It's just outside of Boise. We are here in Hans's room. He's my son. He's my partner in this endeavor. We have a bouldering wall that we built in his bedroom. Actually, Santa Claus came through last Christmas, and then Dad and Hans installed this. And fortunately, we do still have a place we can climb inside in our own house as we're sheltering in place. So we're just going to start off with some bouldering, and in case you don't know, bouldering is the discipline of climbing that is It's free climbing. We don't use ropes or harnesses or a belay, but we also stay, at least in our program climbing, we don't go any higher than 12 feet off the deck, which is typically no higher than the first set of quick draws at most climbing gyms. In this particular case, we are limited by an 8-foot ceiling, but we still got some fun on there, so there's some routes and things that we could do. So I'm just going to start off, and here, let's grab a little chalk just for the overall experience. Okay, so got a couple routes here. Got a blue route. We got some orange, green, and just kind of free-for-all stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this little blue sit start, which we honestly just put together, and it looks hard because I didn't leave myself any hands. But we'll see. I'm gonna cheat it just so I can be somewhat successful. Bringing those hips. Turn. And I got the S and the top. Okay, then we top out the ceiling. Topped out. Time to come off. Did you want to tie in?
Oh, okay.
Retrace figure 8. Alright, so Hans is getting ready to do not his first lead, he's led this before, but he's going to go up and clip the first bolt, and from there we have the ceiling. So, but it's good practice, and it's kind of fun, little adventure. Yeah, so we'll get him on belay. See how this goes. How you feeling, Hans? Alright. Let's do one final check here. How's your harness? Alright. Rope. Not look good. How's your helmet? All right, looks good. Awesome. How you feeling?
Good.
Okay. Did I already ask you that?
Yeah.
All right. You know what you're doing? Do you remember how to clip through the draw when you get up there?
Yep.
Okay. You're all locked. I'm good. Harness good. My helmet's good. Got the official Youth Dynamics helmet. All right. So you ready to climb?
On the way.
Your belay is on.
Climbing.
Climb on. You got this. Go ahead and put the quad anchor on just for simulation purposes, and then we will he'll lower me back down to the deck here. So let's get him anchored first, because how much do you weigh, Hans?
61 pounds.
Alright, which is considerably
Or 60.
less than his old man. So here's let's clip you in here. Alright. I think between you and your dresser, you will probably stay here. Those drawers out of the way. Cool. And where's your blade device? Do I even have your blade device? There you go. Alright, so you can go ahead and get your end set up. Get tied in. Okay, so you got a carabiner around there. Take up some of the rope. Alright, this is the climber side. So you match it up to the pictures, right? There you go. Close your plate. And it's going to go through there, alright? Alright, go ahead and lock down your carabiner. Always lock that carabiner, see the red? Alright, squeeze checker. Alright, looks sounds locked. Alright, so now, this is your brake hand. And you remember how to give slack? Remember how to just push down on that thing? Alright. Cool. Well, let's go do it. Pretty stiff lead here. So I'm gonna go and go through my contract with you. On belay?
Belay's on.
Alright. Climbing?
Climbing.
Alright. Got the quad anchor on here. Got my limiting knots. Clipped through 3 strands of the cordelette. Got locked carabiners on all 3 sides. Got really weak bolt hangers here, but they've worked so far. And go ahead and take tight, tension the rope, pull out all the slack. There you go. A little tighter. Take one more of those. There you go. Cool. And go ahead and take a step forward. That athletic stance, because you're going to have my weight now. Now go ahead and take up slack one more time. Take tight. Okay. A little bit tighter than that. Okay. And now don't hold the device up anymore. It's locked. Okay. Now go ahead and lower me. Go ahead and lower me. Lower me. Lift up on the lever until I lower. No. Just keep pulling. There you go. There you go. It didn't move the other day. Well, Hans, good job. Apparently you and your dresser don't weigh as much as me. But you know what? This is fun. And it's a great little wall. But I want something bigger. You want something bigger? Yeah. Alright. Let's go see if we can find something bigger. A little break and just refueling for our big climb. And we've got some apples, we've got some cheese, some New Zealand cheddar, in fact, and some summer sausage. We've got our bigger adventure that we picked out for today. Inside we were climbing 8-foot high bouldering wall, and it was fun, but I needed a little bit bigger challenge. So I thought back to the days of when I was Hans's age, and I used to climb a lot of trees. You know, as I mentioned earlier, today is my birthday, and I'm 44. So, you know, with the medical system being already inundated as it is, I don't want to shatter any bones. So, we're going to go ahead and lead climb this tree, setting protection as we go. And Hans here will belay me, right? All right. So why don't you go ahead and get over there. We'll get you tethered. We've actually got a full strength anchor here that Hans, go ahead and step over that rope. Hans here, as we mentioned earlier, is a little bit lighter than I am, and we found out that his bedroom dresser and him are both lighter than I am, apparently. So this won't move. You don't need the quick draws. Again, we're going to use the gree-gree. We've been practicing on that so that he could lead belay me. Before we clip in, let's go ahead and tie in. So here, we can go ahead and put that in. There you go. So as you can see, we've got, this is my house right over here, the greenhouse. And this is a tree in the side yard. So we are still at home, technically. And you can tell it's about 25 feet up to the anchor up there. Rope's coming out perfect. Alright, go ahead and establish that brake hand. Alright, buddy. There you go. Awesome. Alright, so I'm tied in. Harness is good. How's your harness? Oh, good, good. Locked, helmet's on.
All the way down here?
What's that?
It's like you.
Switch your hands. This is your brake hand. There you go.
That's why.
Alright, so, on belay?
Belay is on.
Alright, climbing.
Climb on.
Alright. Alright, and we're down. Alright, off belay, a little slack. Alright, well that was a worthy adventure. Nice belay, Hans. Wait, we're supposed to fist bump. Oh, wait. That's right. Okay. Yeah, nice. We'll take everything down and pack up.
And
We'll
wash your
see you
hands.
next time. Oh, speaking of next time, so next week we'll have more socially distant Adventures with Joe right here on YouTube and Facebook. And we'll release those new videos at 2 o'clock on Fridays. So be looking for those. Next week, Hans, I was thinking another thing I really like to do is camping. What do you think of going camping? Yeah. So we'll be back next week with our camping trip. Until then, stay healthy
Wash your hands.
and wash your hands.